Hey guys, how's it going? OPP here, coming at you with a quick video. Link down below to my Patreon. It starts at $1 a month. Again, if you can't afford $1 a month, you probably shouldn't be watching this video. Help the channel grow, help me out, help me give back to my community. I'm in the process of creating a community garden. I'm just waiting for permits and all that to get out of red tape and stuff like that, so that way I can do that. So again, links down below to my Patreon, and if you don't want to do that, I'll also put a link down there to a GoFundMe that I've created for the channel. If you just want to do a one-time donation, anything helps. So things are heating up in Ukraine. I believe the last time I checked the numbers was a couple of days ago. Estimated Russian casualties were over 6,000. Fatal casualties. Wounded probably 3 to 4 times that, I would assume. It's been I think we're going on day 6 now. Day 6 or day 7 of the invasion. That's 1,000 troops a day dead. 1,000 troops a day. That is nothing compared to what is about to happen. You got to think, that's 1,000 people that are gone from their families. That's 1,000 husbands, wives, brothers, sisters, sons and daughters, aunts and uncles. You don't think that all those people who are connected to them are going to be pretty pissed off right now? Now, on the opposite hand, playing devil's advocate, they might be more pissed off at the government that they set their family members over there to die. But you never know. Even if one replaces them. We're about to see something pop off that my parents haven't seen. Their parents have only heard about. And my great-grandparents lived through. My family comes from a long line of soldiers and farmers. We're of hardy stock. Families fought in every single world war, and I've recently started reading the journals of 2 of my great-grandfathers. One of them was a Lancaster pilot. Started off as a radio operator in a Lanc. Was shot down over Berlin. Lived, fought back through with the French resistance to a Dutch trawler. Got picked up by a British frigate and was back in the air in a couple of months. At that point, he was a pilot, and he lived out the remainder of his military career as a Lanc pilot until the end of the war. Flew way more sorties than what he was supposed to live through. Has more medals than I can count. And his diaries, his journals, tell the horrors of a world war. A conventional world war. My other great-grandfather was in the 40th Highlanders of Canada. Fought in every single battle in World War I and stayed 2 years later. Came back on the Titanic sister ship. Because he was so effed up that he couldn't leave a country in shambles that he helped destroy, so he helped fix it. He always said, I never met the man, I wish I had. He always said to my dad and my grandfather, who said it to me, if you break something, fix it, you don't give up. And that makes sense after reading his journals. He talked about the horrors of the trenches. There's one passage in there, and it's kind of faded, so it's kind of hard to read. But he described digging a trench in Passchendaele. They were digging in on one position, and he was sent out on a trench raid into the German lines, and he saw a friend of his from an earlier engagement that was laying there. He crawled over to help him, and the rats came out of his chest. He thought he was breathing. People don't understand what war is really like. And I can only imagine it from reading what a world war is really like from those journals. Gotta get your minds right. Gotta get your spirits right. Unfortunately, as I said, I don't see a way out of this one. I really don't. There's gonna be a lot of good people killed over this. Make sure you can do what you can now to support your family now. So that way that stuff doesn't happen to you on the home front. On the home front of things, my great-grandmother was a riveter during the Second World War. Worked in Toronto, and she would build Flower-class corvettes. They're estimated that she was cranking out, her crew cranked at about 2 a month while she was doing that. And before that, she was pressing .303 British ammo into the bullet casings. And 17-pounder shells. She was loading those into crates. You people out there that think that, oh, it's not gonna affect you. Yes, it will. Somebody's gotta work the munition plants while the men and women are over there fighting. There's gonna have to be nurses that are tending to the wounded. And that's just a conventional war. That's not to even think about a nuclear exchange. That would kill millions, billions of people. Currently, I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to put 6 foot thick reinforced concrete in the backfield of my property. I decided to take a little drive, so I thought I'd shoot some videos just to kind of regroup my thoughts, because I'm pretty stressed. Now is not the time to get burnt out. Neighbors around me are Amish. There's lessons for them that I can learn, and I'm trying to learn. Now, there is a language barrier. My two neighbors do not speak English. They speak German. I do not speak German. Trying to learn German because these are good people, and I'd like to respect them by being able to communicate to them in their language. They are elderly. They do have a couple of young kids. To the one side, I believe they're actually the children of the elderly couple, from what I gathered, roughly. Those kids are hardworking. Remind me a lot of myself when I was their age. They're 8 or 9. They're chopping firewood. They're feeding the chickens. They're carrying planks, rough sawn lumber. They're of good stock, and they're good kids. And especially with a kid coming of my own, I want to know how they've raised their kids. I was raised in an era of technology, and it's proven that at the flick of a switch, we can all be gone. If you haven't noticed, the SWIFT banking system is failing. I'm lucky to live in an area where we still use cash. The Amish folk, they don't have debit cards. They don't have bank accounts. So I guess you could say I'm at an upper hand. I barely have cell service. Barely. They don't even know what a cell phone is. Well, I'm sure they know what it is, but they don't use them. I'm trying to figure out a way to get me horses, and wagons, and how to operate it. Never driven a wagon. If there's a nuclear exchange, you can bet your ass that power's gone. EMP might fry your vehicle, might not. Where I'm at, I'm not near any nuclear targets. Don't have to worry about fallout or radiation. Do have to worry about water contamination, because radiation doesn't stay localized. It spreads. It'll get in the water table, it gets in the birds, it gets spread. I'd highly recommend, if you haven't already, get a year's supply of food per person in your household as soon as you possibly can. I'm not giving you any financial advice, but if you gotta put it on your credit card, I would, personally speaking. It's not that much money, and I'm not giving you financial advice. Just saying what I would do if I was you. If you haven't already, start building sheds. Even sheds as small as 10 by 10. It's a good start. Start building shelves in there. The width of a twin-sized bed. Go to clearance stores. You gotta buy a couple of twin-sized mattresses and stack them in one of those sheds. Now you got homes for people. Create wood stoves out of old barrels. Here's a little insider information. Go to your auto shops. Ask them if they have any metal bins, barrels that you can take. Chances are they're full of grease. Chances are they're full of used oil. Ask them if you can get rid of that for them. Tight on cash, do the same thing. Go to your local auto shop. Take the scrap metal. Ask them if it's okay first. Sometimes they have contracts with scrappers. Take their scrap if they'll let you. Right now where I'm at, they're paying $135 a metric ton Canadian. I can fit 2 or 3 of those in a truckload and it'll only cost me about $60 to do it. If you've got a trailer and a bigger truck, even better, right? Now's the time to start beating feet. Be safe out there, guys. OPB, out.